Big welcome to our friends watching online. Clinton Jeffrey very proud of that, and he should be, Greg. That is so very cool.
I just want to correct things. You can get to the live feed through the Ohsweken Speedway Facebook fan page. OhswekenSpeedway.net, not currently working, but if you go to OhswekenSpeedway.com, there's a click here to watch the live action link. You can click on that and get all the action live from our Facebook feed. Ready to go racing the first heat race of 2017. The 22nd season is underway, and Tim Newell leads him into corner one.
Only fitting that they'd be 5 wide coming under the flag stand to start lap number 1. Green flag is out. Here comes Doug Erskine to the outside.
Yeah, the wily veteran getting it done to the outside of Tim Newell. Aaron Rowitzki right there at his tire tracks. Kalia Sims, the pole sitter, back to 4th.
Yeah, Kalia Sims did not get off the green flag all that well. Doug Erskine, I'm not sure which lane he chose, but it was the place to be. Up on the outside, carries the momentum, and he will lead lap number 2.
Kalia Sims with a little bit of contact there with Brandon Crumby. That allows Gary Hodgson to slip by in the 49 machine, move him up into the 4th spot. Now the battle for second heats up as Aaron Rowitzki works to the outside.
That outside groove will be the preferred line. Well, one sideways through 3 and 4. That was a narrow miss for Miller in the 79.
So Doug Erskine leads the way. Tim Newell in second. Aaron Rowitzki trying to hold on to third, but here comes Gary Hodgson. He'll work to the inside. He's got a head of steam, and now will grab second for the moment.
Let's see if Hodgson can get the traction he needs down on the inside as Rowitzki back to the high side. He had fallen back, and now they're 3 wide for second.
Hodgson on the inside, Newell in the middle, Rowitzki on the top. Rowitzki will grab the second spot as they work down the backstretch. Doug Erskine is your leader. Rowitzki second, then it's Newell, and John Jansen's now has made his way up into the top 4.
No surprise here as Jansen making his presence felt in the top 5, moves up to the 3rd position. He'll try to track down Rowitzki in that 4 machine.
So with 2 more trips around, Doug Erskine making his way around this track as your leader, the wily veteran, with a pair of relatively new drivers right behind him, and Aaron Rowitzki and John Jansen's. Jansen's always a title contender. He'll work to the inside of car number 4, coming to the white flag.
Side by side, they take the white flag. It's Rowitzki by about a foot at the line, but that lap doesn't count for much. This is the lap they want to be ahead as Erskine leads by 20 car lengths down the backstretch.
Nice job by John Jansen. Started back in the 8th position as the yellow flag comes out for the 13 of Daniel McKay. One of the drivers that does a lot of racing on the weekends, likes to compete at Merrittville Speedway and at Humberstone as well.
Doug Erskine has led a lot of races here at Ohsweken. Smooth and steady pace through 3 and 4. Green flag about to come out for one more lap in Ministock heat number 1.
Green flag comes out. John Jansen's looking to the inside of Rowitzki. Rowitzki, though, keeps right on the back bumper of Erskine. He'll show that I was down into corner number 1.
Down to the bottom goes Rowitzki. Erskine with a better run off of turn number 2. What a run up the outside for Hodgson in the 49.
Yeah, he gets by John Jansen's. Little bobble there in corner number 3. Checkers will come out, and Doug Erskine is going to pick up the win. Aaron Rowitzki second, Gary Hodgson third. And it's John Jansen's and Tim Newell completing the top 5 in our first qualifying heat of the year. Great win for Doug Erskine in the 64.
And I haven't met Sean Snake yet, but I want to know if that's a Richie Evans tribute in that 61. It's kind of orange.
Bill should be a title contender in 2017. Kyle McKenzie atop the flag stand will show the field the white flag, meaning one more trip around before we go green flag racing.
And do you know who the straggler is in the 19 car? That blue number 19, not on our lineup sheet. Have a look at the roster.
Kyle Wirt. Kyle Wirt, who has worked his way up through the Bomber division, but I don't believe he is supposed to be in this qualifying heat.
Okay, I just heard Doug Leonard, 19 to the back of Heat 2, and they're calling the 16 to the back of Heat 3, so a couple of last-minute changes to accommodate these Ministock drivers. A 12-car qualifying heat for the Ministock.
Joe DeBoer. Bobby Tolton on the front row, bringing us to the green flag in the second qualifying heat for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. We are underway.
Wasting little time, Jonathan Ayrton squirts up the middle, heads to the cushion, and powers himself out to the lead of heat race number 2.
Ayrton leads him down the backstretch, 3 wide behind him with Tolton, DeBoer, and Newell going at it. They'll stay that way into corner number 3.
Brandon Jansen made a big move to the inside, but you lose so much momentum that he passed a couple of cars, but he's actually lost ground at the front of the field. So he's got to hustle himself down into turn number 1. He moves up the racetrack where he can carry a little bit more momentum and almost makes contact.
Brian Cosgrove gets ahead of steam off of corner number 2. He'll go by Joe DeBoer, and the French number 54 into the 4th position in car number 96.
Substantial lead for Ayrton in the 21 as Robbie Tolton in the 13 hanging on to second. He doesn't want to see what's coming behind him because there's about 8 cars all stacked up, a couple of car lengths behind, and here comes Jansen down the backstretch.
Yeah, he's got a head of steam heading into corner number 3, works to the outside line. Will try to get by the 96 at Cosgrove. Cross flags up in the air, halfway home for Jonathan Ayrton. Here comes Jansen's threading the needle. He'll dive down to the inside of Cosgrove and Tolton.
Cosgrove was starting to come down towards the bottom of the racetrack, so that was a near collision there heading into turn number 1. Bunches things up again as we race down into 3.
So Jansen has that 3rd spot. Meanwhile, out in front, Jonathan Ayrton doing a great job. In car number 21, your leader, Bobby Tolton, now will feel the pressure from Brandon Jansen as he is down to the inside line. They're door-to-door through corners 1 and 2.
Tolton squeezes Jansen down on the bottom of the racetrack, but Jansen still with a great run out of turn 2. Following him down into 3 will be the Cosgrove 96, and now momentarily in turn 4, 3 wide.
One more trip around for Jonathan Ayrton, a little too late for Brandon Jansen to catch him. But the battle now is for that 3rd spot. Cosgrove and Tolton going at it. Tolton holds the spot in car 13.
Matt Newell trying to sneak his way in, and so is Davey Boughton into the battle. It's anybody's spot from 3rd all the way back to 7th.
Checkers come out. Jonathan Ayrton will pick up the win at the line. Brandon Jansen's will be 2nd. 3rd will go to Brian Cosgrove. Then it's Bobby Tolton and Matt Newell completing the top 5 in a very exciting 2nd qualifier for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
And nice job for Work to sneak up into the 6th spot there.
Sarantakis and Mossy on the front row of this one, the 3rd and final qualifying heat for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And Kyle McKenzie throws the green. We are underway.
For 1, the front row still side by side. Barry in the number 16 as they drive down into 3 and 4. Some fast cars at the back of this field. See who can make it. The turn number 4. The rookie Dave Brumby going around the Amsoil number 63. He's still got a left front. With the left front wheel dangling. Technical term.
Machine, who will be another favorite, Martin Schroeder, for that Jansen's racing team.
Towards the wall. Not sure if Design thought. I know Design didn't know. A little bit of space, but he's still there in that battle second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. All together there on the back string. We're about to be halfway through this qualifying heat. 3 laps down, 3 to go.
Side battle with Schroeder all by himself back there in fourth, and they continue to go at it door to door with Bazine and DeBoer. Now Bazine will break free and work to the back end. Now look down the inside of Schroeder into 3.
Big run down the backstretch. He goes down into turn number 3 and then slides up the racetrack. Schroeder is still there, but he'll have to give way for Bazine. He's going to lose a spot as well to the 9 machine of Tim DeBoer.
So Mozzie on cruise control right now. The battle is for that second spot. And here comes Mark Bazine. Shoots through the middle in the Burger Barn 21. He'll grab the second spot into 2.
He'll do the same thing. Go into the corner, slide up the racetrack. That move will work for a little while, but at some point the car on the outside is going to say, not this time. But that time it worked. Bazine gets the spot up into second. But Mazzy in control of this one.
The 222 works through corner number 3 for the final time and will work up before the checkered flag in the hand of Kyle McKenzie. He will wave the flag, and Mazzy will get the win. Bazine will grab second, Sarantacos third, and it's Olivieri. And Rob Twitchett with a nice run into the top 5.
There were a few late race charges in these qualifying heats that were interesting and make me wonder that what are these cars going to work like when the feature comes out and the track is even more broken in as the night goes on.
And the one thing I'm seeing is also some of these late charges are coming from guys that have really made a step up in their program, it looks like.
Look at me like I was in my big moment, building up. Do it yourself, Greg.
Story of my life. Starting on the pole, be the 23 of Dusty DeBoer. At the outside should be the Crumby machine, not Brandon Crumby though. We're looking at Dave Crumby on the outside line. Joe DeBoer to the inside row number 2. The pinball, Mike Giberson to the outside.
Is that Bobby Tolton in the 13?
No, it is not.
Okay. Green flag is out. They charge down into turn number 1.
Daniel McKay. Number 4, it's going to be the Crumby machine across the stripe first over DeBoer.
That is a gaggle of cars from about
in the lead. Sideline, side by side. Dusty DeBoer in second spot on that lap.
Now, how many transfer out of this race, Greg? Do you know? 7 cars will transfer into the feature event.
Home in the 6th installation event. Troubles for the 16 of Jeremy May.
Well, right now it's the 06 of Joey Wilcox with the final transfer spot. Position.
In 1 year ago, got the victory lane on multiple occasions in 2016. Dixon holding down the second spot over Dusty DeBoer. The pinball, Mike Giberson with a nice run here tonight as well.
Looking good indeed as the white flag flies. Still a great race.
At the win, Jason Dixon will slide home to the second spot. Then it's Dusty DeBoer, the pinball, Mike Giberson in 4th. The 79 is Steve Miller 5th. 6th will go to Joe DeBoer, and Joey Wilcox in the 06 will complete the top 7. Those drivers will move on to tonight's A-Main.
Bomber feature is up next.
The 23 of Dusty DeBoer, the 06. Yep, 79 of Steve Miller, and the 9 of Jim DeBoer. HRW Automotive Ministock.
Stein and Jansen racing down into turn.
Back straightaway beside.
Jansen's in the 66, Bazine up high in the 21.
Having the guys to beat the past few seasons. Now they work it off of 4.
Bottom, it's not particularly easy this late in the evening. The top of the racetrack tends to be where the speed is found, but the Bazine takes the lead and he drops down to the inside.
Well, the Jansen brothers running in behind them. Of course, the third place car, our two-time and defending champion here of the HRW Automotive Ministocks. Jonathan Ayrton bought that good 21 last year and had some great runs from the Twisted former Tyler LaFontese car.
Wow, Duggar's going way up towards the wall in the 64 out of car out of the concrete. We're still side by side for the lead at the stripe.
Adam, I had to get on a couple laps, but we'll call Greg back in as my mug's getting a bit sketchy as they work it off of turn 2 down to the back straightaway. And what a great race we've got going here as John Jansen's trying.
They are side by side battling for the lead. Third place is still in the hunt, but even side by side they're pulling away from the rest of the field. Ayrton holding down the 4th spot in the 21. And further back in the field, we are seeing crossover moves in 3 wide traffic. It is something to watch.
Front straightaway here, John Jansen not going away, but not making any gains here on the leader. Got them 3 wide with Massey, Sarantaka. Not a lot of back markers in this one as they work this. Jonathan Ayrton, I believe that's 13, and Gary Hodgson running very good in 6th here in the.
Fairly big gap back to the rest of the field, but at the front, we're seeing Bazine really handling well in the straight line, making some good. Bit harder, but that could be where he's losing some of that momentum. Is Bazine a little bit smoother, able to lay down the. He drives to the inside to for the lead.
Well, we got on 240. Nissan 240 is the leader, and a Neon behind him, and his brother back there in another Nissan 240. On the inside, Kyle McKenzie says, let's.
Slight contact up through turn number 4, but Design goes away. Not sure if he anticipated Jansen pushing him up there or if he couldn't keep the front end of the car pinned. The veterans of Mike Guidance.
Let's see how they navigate these ones. And again, Bazine now on the rear bumper cover of the Neon 66 of Jansen's. Jansen blasts up high, right up in front of Guyverson on the tailgate here of Miller with 2 to go. And Bazine has to make something happen.
2 laps remain, and Bazine doing everything he can to keep pace with Jansen, who's carving through the slower traffic very well. This could be the moment he waited for. Bazine to the inside. Jansen slams the door shut.
And that may just do it here for Bazine. Got hung up behind the 42.
Doing everything he can as Jansen drives it into 1 and 2 with the lead. 2 car lengths back to Bazine in the 21X. He's going to have to drive it deep into 3.
Yeah, that one might be over. The battle for third still raging though. Hodgson with a solid run here. Maybe his best run ever at the Big O. Working it off for 4, and your winner will be John Jansen's over Mark Bazine. Hodgson will come across in the 3rd spot.
Jansen 4th, and I'm not sure if Newell hung on to 5th. It looks like yes, the 2 of Newell hung on to take home the 5th position. That's how they will end in what was a clean and fantastic Ministock feature event. But first, we're going to get in here, talk to the 2nd place finisher, Mark Bazine. That was a heck of a race. Lap traffic just didn't go your way. If not for the lap traffic, do you think you could have done something?
It's hard to say. John's got a fast car. I love racing side-by-side like that. It reminds me of 2 years ago with Tyler LaFontese. Just 2 fast cars started at the front. It was pretty easy to stay up there.
Opening night, that's the way it goes. You get to start towards the front. As the season goes on, you'll wind up working a whole lot more traffic, starting a little bit deeper. What do you prefer, fast cars up at the front, or do you enjoy the handicap?
I like the handicap, and it makes for great racing. That's what the fans want to see, so that's what we want to do.
How about a big round of applause for Mark Bazine, comes home 2nd place tonight. Gary Hodgson, heck of a race, a big smile on your face. Good job. How did that feel, top 3 finish?
Oh, that was awesome. Waited a long time for this, my 3rd year, so it was great.
Did you change much to your race car in the off season to get this kind of performance, or is it just the experience helping you out?
The experience helped a lot, and my crew chief, Don Damaris, he just went over this car like you wouldn't believe, changed the suspension and such, and gave me a lot of direction on how to drive. So we're great.
That's not easy to do, to take direction how to drive. You did a great job tonight, but does this change your expectations for the rest of the season?
Well, I raced horses, and it took me 15 years to win the Ontario Sire Stakes. I haven't got 15 years to win a feature at Ohsweken. So
there you have it. Gary Hodgson comes home 3rd tonight. And we're going to go see John Jansen's smile on his face. That was a lot of fun to watch. You put the best at the front of the field and duked it out. Did you think you could hold? Did you realize how well you were getting through those lap cars at the end?
I didn't realize how well. You learn when you get out front, you got to go like a scolded cat at all times, and you don't know when they're coming. Mark's fast. I was just waiting for his nose to look through there. So just had to navigate that traffic, but awesome. I'd like to thank my wife Jessica. She's at home. Without this is not possible. And sponsors, Darren Lester from Woodstock Nissan came on board this year. Drew Simmons, Sun Real Estate, Hawkins Electric, and Whitelaw Performance. Thank you, guys.
Spoken like a veteran. Big round of applause for John Tansey taking home the opening